Have you ever wondered how fast someone can disappear? Not over days, not over hours, but instantly. One moment they're there, the next moment, gone. What could make someone stop mid-task, leave a pot boiling on the stove, their door unlocked, their most precious possessions abandoned? Now, we tell ourselves, people don't just vanish into thin air. There's always an explanation, always evidence, a fingerprint, footprints, a witness, something, right? But what happens when there is nothing? Now, what about when an entire community vanishes? Every single person just gone. And then silence, a kind of silence that really shouldn't exist in a place meant to be full of life. There's no footprints, no sign of a struggle, no blood, no bodies, literally nothing. Now, this is a story about a mystery that has haunted the Arctic for nearly a century. It's gone through investigations, cover-ups, whispers of legendary creatures, ancient indigenous monsters rising from the frozen depths, even theories of alien abduction. With all that, it all leaves us with one aching question. Where did everyone go? I'm Lee. That's Jen. That's Josh. We're the Secret Society of Strangers. And this is the mysterious disappearance of Anjikuni Lake.
Welcome, stranger.
Secret Society.
Strangers. Society.
Welcome to the Secret Society.
Strangers?
What it do?
Yeah.
Welcome back, strangers. We're in it this one.
Let me get my waders on because this is gonna be deep.
Yeah.
Actually, it's we'll find out how deep it is. It's not as deep as you think it is.
No.
I still don't like getting wet, so I'm gonna put waders on.
water is. Yeah, your water the waders will keep you safe.
Yeah. Unless you're like doing cranberry stuff and then there's bog spiders and I ain't about
Yes,
that
I'm
Whoa,
seeing so much
no.
about that right now.
life. Yeah, no, that's all
my
cool
God.
and like, oh, I'm gonna take pictures in a cranberry field and be
Yeah.
like ocean, blah blah blah. And then you have like 600 wolf spiders in your fucking waders.
Yep.
'cause
Nope.
that's-
Nope. Nope.
No,
Nope.
thanks. We're good. No spiders in this episode.
Mm-mm.
We're good.
Spider free
Spiderless.
episode.
That's good.
Spiderless. We're in a place where spiders probably don't even exist.
I love that.
And if they
Except
did,
for-
they're fucking scarier.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So tonight we are talking about one of Canada's most baffling mysteries, the disappearance at Anjikuni Lake. So now before we get into any of this stuff, we're talking about like way into Inuit territory up north. This is Nahuvut territory. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If I'm not, someone could correct me. 500 miles north of Manitoba.
That's pretty far.
Whoa.
That's like
That's
up there.
that's
You
the
might as well be
distance
in
from
Antarctica.
New York to Detroit. So pretty fucking far.
Ugh.
Bet you it's cold all
yeah.
the time.
Yeah, so it is very cold. I mean, this is like the top of the world cold. There's very little towns, almost no towns actually. There's almost no roads at the time. No civilization for hundreds and hundreds of miles.
God, it sounds perfect.
The Inuit people call
Cold,
this
remember?
region.
It's North Dakota.
Yeah, you'll have little rings of home in this, I'm sure.
Ah,
The Inuit people call this barren area the barren grounds.
Don't
Limited
say.
wildlife, no trees.
so it's North Dakota.
Temperatures can drop to minus 40 degrees
Oh, that's nothing. We get negative 60.
in minutes. Oh, no, it gets colder than that there, but it could drop negative 40 degrees in minutes. So you can be at zero and then in minutes, you'll be frozen solid.
Plus wind chill, I'm sure, because there's
Yeah.
no freaking trees. Just like today, it was like 45-mile-an-hour winds. It was
Not
absolutely insane.
Not
No,
fun.
absolutely not.
Just
No.
leave the area, man.
Let's
it's
go
not
to
fun.
Ohio with the twisty chimneys.
Yeah, like this is the Arctic Circle. This is where like survival takes generations of knowledge to just even maybe make it out in the wild, especially if you're by yourself.
Mm-mm.
This is November 1930, right? So,
Oh.
Great Depression time, World War One, all the fun things, right?
Yeah. It's a great time to be
Anyway,
alive.
yeah, we're out. Yeah, great time to be alive. Especially not in this area. Because like this is, we're talking again, super nowhere, and communication is literally by radio if you're lucky.
I bet you it's beautiful though.
I'm sure at times it is. I'm sure it's wonderful at times. While
they
you're
called
laying
it-
there freezing and slowly dying of hypothermia.
They called it what? Barren land or something?
Yeah, the barren ground.
It's just so beautiful. You can
Yeah.
see my dog run away for days.
Yeah, so there are fur trappers out here amongst the people. Like there's a lot of them go like 2 by 2, some of them go alone. But again, running into one of those people can take weeks to months. Like you can not cross another human being for weeks and weeks.
God,
Which
still
is
sounds so nice.
Yeah, but it's not nice when you're like in those conditions. If I was like in a nice, comfy, like
Still.
dwelling
Cottage
in the middle
core
of the
house.
woods somewhere,
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be like fancy. It could be like a lean-to in the woods, but I just need to know that like,
Ugh.
It's
got to be warmer than that.
Yeah, well, no, I don't want. That's what I mean. I need to be like, I need to have things to be able to survive off of, like
Yeah.
just melting snow
No.
and just drinking snow.
Mm-mm. You got to go kill your food, probably. Oh no,
Oh, yeah.
Man, so
Oh, yeah.
good.
Josh.
All right, well,
Loving
our
this.
this story centers around a guy named Joe LaBelle. He's a French-Canadian fur trapper. He's an experienced outdoorsman, and he has now been on this expedition 4 days. It's the middle of November. His supplies are kind of dwindling. He's like at the end of like what he has to sustain himself alone in the wilderness. It's like this time of year, like Josh was saying, it's like -60, hostile winds, like hell on earth basically, but this guy thinks it's beautiful.
So I think these people just like the wind brought in like a brochure of like Hawaii or something, and they just like noped out of there. That's what I think.
Yep.
End
of
of story.
Wait, there's places that it's warmer? Go ahead. Say less.
Whoa.
Yeah. So Joe's out here. He's traveling alone. Like I said, it's dangerous but common. He's exhausted now from days and days of travel, but he knows in a little bit, like up over one of these next rises, that there's a settlement. There's an Inuit settlement. He knows it because he's been there before.
I was going to say, do you think he's just saying this about every hill? Because there's got to be a settlement.
Every time
sure
I
that he
hike,
probably,
I'm
like, it's
like,
gotta be
oh, just past that rock. I know.
But he's really counting on it. Like this is going to be like his lifeline right now. This is going to allow him to like resupply, rest, warm up. There should be some food there. This like area and these people are really known for like their hospitality and taking care of each other and people that come along, because otherwise
Because they know it
certain
fucking
death.
sucks.
It's certain death.
Correct.
So Joe is approaching this. So again, November in the Arctic, it is kind of just dusk, twilight, dark all the time.
God, it just gets worse and worse.
But it is dinner time. He knows it's around dinner time as he walks over the hill where he should be seeing this village. He should start seeing smoke, hearing, dogs and children and people, voices. Instead, he hears nothing. As he makes it over the hill, he sees the village. The village is there, but it is quiet. It's still. It looks like ice is starting to froze over all the caribou skins of the huts. Like no one has been here for a little while, longer than a little while. But, hoping against hope, Joe's thinking maybe like, it's just they fell asleep. Everyone's sleeping, early night, whatever.
Fueled
He
by
goes to
delusion.
check
I
on
love it.
everything. He goes.
It's
to
never
the
those
first-
things.
No,
it's
never.
I think
Never
I think
a
Joe knows
mannequin.
that. I think he
Never.
does.
I've never met one mannequin that's not creepy.
Correct.
All mannequins are creepy. So I think deep down he knows that. He knows that like there's just eerie silence is wrong. So he goes to check. He opens the first hut. Nothing, nobody. But he does see food cooking, or what was food cooking in a pot, burnt to a crisp. So the fire's cold, the food is burnt, stuck to the pot. Someone just left their food mid-cook.
And you don't do
And
that back then.
No.
No. So freaked out, obviously, he walks out of this first tent and he actually calls out. And he calls out in French, Inuit, and English, hoping to get some sort of response. Met with silence.
Damn.
Oh,
Forced to now move on and explore the site more, he moves on to the next tent where he finds sleeping furs folded neatly, clothes hanging up. He finds a children's sealskin garment, half finished, with the bone needle still stuck into it, like someone was sewing it and just left it.
So you just got raptured mid-sew.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now, the third tent, and the fourth tent, and the fifth tent are all the same.
Wow.
He's obviously now extremely concerned. He's come across rifles. He's come across all the cold weather gear. He knows that if there's anyone that was going to survive outside of this town, they don't have any of the provisions to do so.
Dogs?
I guess forced to explore more, he does start poking further around. And like Jen just mentioned, there should be dogs. So he starts looking for the dogs. He finds two extremely skinny, emaciated dogs whining and just like on their last leg of life. But he knows there should be more. So he goes looking for more. Sadly, he finds 7 sled dogs still tied out to their pole, all starved to death and wasted away and frozen. And he can only
Darn it.
assume that these 2 dogs were at least lucky enough to maybe chew themselves free, break their chains, become skinny enough to slip out of their collars, whatever it is.
I don't want to talk about
Somehow
dogs
these
anymore.
2 dogs are the only living creatures here.
Well, but
Oh.
then that tells you that the length of time isn't,
Yeah, it's been so long.
but it hasn't been that long.
Yeah, it's been like a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so.
Yeah, they've been able to at least survive on whatever scraps they have. And again, I guess they're getting some water at least through the snow, but they're not going to survive probably
Much
because
longer.
what can he do to help them? But this is like the final red flag. All the alarm bells are now ringing for Joe because no one, not one Inuit community would walk away from their dogs. These are their lifelines. They feed their dogs before they feed themselves. There's no way that they would not even give them the chance to survive by untying them. Something
Right.
had to have taken these people
Fast.
extremely fast.
Mhm.
As he's doing this, he's getting this feeling that he should not be here.
Oh,
Just an eerie feeling. He can't put his finger on it. He just shouldn't be poking around.
I get that in my basement sometimes.
same.
Well,
Now he explores further because he knows the setup basically of how these villages are set up. They're very particular. They're usually set up where most of the houses and the storage places in the center. And then as you go further out, they have other things like their cemetery grounds and their kennels and things like that. So he starts to explore further out and comes across the burial grounds. And now, obviously, these are not what we in, dry, warm climates that can dig holes view as cemeteries. These are burial grounds where they bury stones, where they bury their people under stones. They're called cairns. So these are huge 20 to 50 pound rocks. So like imagine this is something that has to be done with extreme care. It takes time. The whole process is a labor of just showing the value of this person that passed. You know, you're taking a lot of time to do this. What he finds here is that all of these stones that are supposed to be on top of these burials are piled up very neatly, actually, but next to the burials.
Zombies.
So
What?
in the shallow holes or graves that are there are no bodies.
Zombies.
Oh.
But somehow these 20 to 50 pound rocks have been moved with care and piled up neatly next to what should be the remains. Now, obviously, Joe, being a trapper, a wilderness guy, knows not polar bears, not wolverines. This is not something that, you know, there would be scattered remains. They're not moving rocks, piling them up. This screams intelligence.
And this would be like even like old remains, like from
anything
that had been there on his previous right. Okay.
Yep.
Damn.
Piles,
not even cheeky penguins would do this.
Nothing. And there's nothing left. There's no like scraps of clothing, no anything. Like,
and no signs of violence though either.
Yep. So he's found no footprints, no blood. The weapons have not been used, fired, or removed from even like their racks. He finds them leaned up against the racks, like rusting. But now, obviously, Joe faces the massive problem of the fact that he is 500 miles away from the closest telegraph, with
That's
no
ridiculous.
way to even like say anything to anyone about what he's seeing here. I mean, insert like heart drop out of my asshole moment, like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Eyes, 1,000 eyes in every dark shadow everywhere. I'd be flipped the fuck out.
No.
Bet you it's just eerily quiet. Like
Oh,
yeah.
animals, no nothing.
So quiet. It is like, yeah, like dead quiet. And so we say lake. So Anjikuni Lake is a lake, and it's a huge, massive, miles wide lake. But it's the middle of the winter. This lake is frozen solid, and on the best day, this lake is about 2 feet deep, almost everywhere.
What?
You can walk this lake for the most part when it's thawed.
Oh.
So the idea of, you know, a mass people falling into the lake now is almost also off the table.
Well, yeah. 'Cause I feel like
Did he ever say like how many people?
So this village, yes. So this village should have about 25 to 30 villagers.
Okay.
And he found, obviously, like I said, 0 people. And he even said, like, at first he kind of had like this eerie feeling that like the only way these people could have disappeared was to walk into the lake. And like, that's the only way he would find, no way of like seeing anything left. But obviously can't happen because, like we said, frozen and not deep enough.
Right.
He, against all odds, treaches through this wilderness alone by himself now to go alert someone. Just tell someone that like what he witnessed, that there's no one there. And Joe actually doesn't even like really think that people are going to do anything. Like, just his idea is that he'll go tell the RCMP and he'll just put in his report, who, you know, at the time and now RCMP are not the best at researching, investigating, or caring about indigenous people going missing. So he's not expecting much. He's just saying he's coming to tell them what happened, more because he's fucking scared and doesn't know what to think.
Right.
He makes it. I mean, like I said, against all odds. I don't know how this dude made it. 1930s tough guy, fucking Iron Man champ right here. Finds a local guide, tells the RCMP what he experienced. They jump into action. Like, unexpectedly, these guys organize. They put together local Arctic guides. They find experienced Arctic travelers. They take other trappers, other hunters. They are stocked with food, winter clothing, emergency equipment. They have sled dogs. They are ready to book out and go to Anjikuni Lake and see what happens. Now, again, it's going to take several days through harsh conditions, blizzards, and temperatures at this time again around 60, from 30 to 60 below. They arrive, they get there, and they confirm what Joe told them about their story. Empty tents, abandoned belongings, dead dogs, empty graves. They say everything. It's all there. They investigate, they document everything, they take photos, and they interview Joe extensively. And they search around this area for miles. Like, you have to go hundreds of miles to the next Inuit village, and they go and they ask, like, have you seen any way from this village? You know, they canvass a place that's almost not possible to canvass. And they find goose eggs, zero,
This
not
is like the ultimate missing
clue.
411.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up, because we'll get into a little bit of the discrepancies of what happens after this investigation and the public statement versus the internal report. That varies. So, and then we'll jump back into what you were just talking about, Josh. So, after all this is done, it's January 1931. Sergeant J. Nelson files an internal report that differs from the public statement.
Ooh.
So Nelson's report questioned Joe LaBelle's credibility. He says the investigation reveals that Joe received his first official trapping license that season, making it impossible for him to have been at the lake and the village another time.
So you can't just randomly go to a remote village?
But even more than that, this doesn't hold water, because at the time, it's almost like a 50-50 chance that trappers are even going to get the proper things. And
Right.
That's what I was
going
gonna say. Who is out
So-
there really checking this anyway?
Nobody.
He could have been trapping
Yeah.
for decades.
Exactly.
And again, so this internal report is not necessarily the tightest thing. Basically, he goes on to say that the first reporter to report this into the news, and the news story basically was what we just heard, that a village of people went missing.
Mm-hmm.
Says that this was written by this man named Emmett E. Kelleher, who is known to be extravagant in his reporting and is known for like some sensational journalism. He worked for the local paper called The Bee. Again, this is not what really would make me like doubt this whole story.
No. 'Cause-
He says that one of the photographs that Kelleher used in the article was actually taken in 1909. So, you know, a little over a decade more, or 21 years before the
I
actual
can't
case.
imagine there's that many photos anyway.
Exactly.
No,
And, like,
right.
he's taking, he's like, you know, microfiching a fucking photo. Leave the man alone. He just wanted
Yeah.
some context. Again, very, very shaky, like, ways to cause reasonable doubt, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Because other than that, no one can really debunk the facts elsewhere in this story. So they basically attack Joe's credibility and the credibility of the reporter and call it a day internally.
Well, I mean, that solved absolutely nothing.
It
And the
solved
answer
nothing.
zero question. Even if
It
he's
does-
not credible, even if he's not, where are they?
That's the biggest question of this whole entire thing. But let's talk about what Josh brought up, because this is eerily fascinating how this lines up. So, Josh, you mentioned our faithful David Politis and the missing 411.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, we know that David has that list of criteria of things that, you know, make something qualify for the missing 411, a pattern, you know, things that all line up. And this case kind of has them all.
Of course it does. Why
Um,
wouldn't it?
So let's run through it real quick. So does it fit the pattern of, is it by water?
Check.
It's on a lake. Check. Is it remote?
Oh yeah.
Super.
Did the missing person lack tracks or any evidence of them being there in the first place?
Check.
100%.
Bodies never found? Check.
Mhm.
Bad or inclement weather? Check.
Always.
So again, like this
That's
lines up
6 checks.
with all the checks.
And a new category, digging up the dead.
Yes,
And making
Yeah.
them
it is
disappear
very
too.
strange, and there's still no answer for how or why all the bodies would be missing
Yeah.
too.
If it's aliens, I'm really worried about those aliens and
Yep,
their
yep.
probing. That's
So
some serious,
You got to
scary
practice
probing.
somewhere.
I don't know. Yeah, what are they doing? Maybe they just reanimated them. Maybe they can like.
I mean, they would.
Maybe you're never really dead, and they were like,
in
"No,
good
we can
condition.
Maybe they were never really there.
Ooh. So we all know there are all kinds of theories when it comes to the 411, and at the end of the day, whether you're the hunted or the UFO brand of the 411, like there is something going on, and people are disappearing in ways that are outside of what we can understand. They're
Yeah.
disappearing, without literal any sign. What makes this weird with that connection to David Paulides is that a lot of the David Paulides stuff is chalked up to the UFO connection. We're in 1930, like there has not been a UFO craze yet.
Oh,
Yeah, I
no.
don't think they even know what UFO. Yeah, no,
we're
they don't.
20 to 30 years, or maybe 20 years before Little Green Men and like,
Oh, yeah.
pop culture, space, sci-fi.
They're like these people wouldn't even know what that is anyway. They live so far up north.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not going to get a ton of people citing it.
Yeah, I don't think they're all
And
sitting around the
reporting.
television.
No. But when they were investigating, the RCMP did report strange lights in the sky multiple days in a
Ooh.
row. And they obviously know it's not the Aurora Borealis. These are people that live here. They know what that looks like. They also report seeing these lights on the ice or in the ice of the lake.
You mean the 2-foot pond?
Yeah. I don't know. I guess
Puddle.
what qualifies a lake? I guess because it's so massive that
Yeah.
gallon-wise,
It's definitely not the
Yeah.
depth. Like
Clearly.
a large puddle.
Yeah. So there's this report of the lights, and it's kind of brushed aside. No one really knows what to make of this fact anyway. We're just still concerned, like, where are the people? And UFOs, like we were just talking about, really aren't a thing. No one's saying something beamed them up. That's not even a thing.
Yeah.
It's not until 1959 where there was a writer named Frank Edwards who published Stranger Than Science, and he covered this story in that, where that started to become part of this speculation and lore, because why not? You put all these things together, and if you're thinking and you know about aliens, this lines up perfectly.
Yeah.
So are aliens a possibility? Obviously. Haven't heavily been explored until 1977.
Ooh.
When someone we are familiar with actually reaches out to Fate magazine to make a comment on this particular case. That woman would be Betty Hill.
What?
Yeah. So, yep, that's the Betty Hill, the famous one from 1961, alien abduction, hypnotized with her husband, Bonnie, and all that, or Barney. I call him Bonnie.
Bonnie.
That's how she says that.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
over Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Yeah, I love it.
Get him, queen. Get him.
Favorite accent.
So she reached out, and her theory is that these people were abducted.
She take it from me and Bonnie.
She
Yeah.
spoke with a man named Captain Larson, who allegedly investigated this disappearance for 9 years, and his conclusion was extraterrestrial abduction or mass abduction.
I still want to know what made them even investigate so quickly in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they
Because
usually
that
don't give a
is
fuck.
so, especially that's bizarre to me.
Yeah.
Were they just that bored that they're like, all right, guys, let's go. We're out of poutine and we've got some mysteries.
Yeah, I mean, Mm.
I don't know. I don't know
I
if
was
it's something
curious
tipped them
because I
off.
thought that's what I was thinking you were going to say, that maybe was then discovered that there'd been some strange,
Other
things
things going, and
happening,
maybe there
something
were.
that,
Maybe they had been seeing these lights and they thought it was weird enough to follow up on. There is very little clarification. Obviously, you're talking about
oh yeah,
extremely isolated communities with,
yeah,
probably a few officers. Their records are piss poor. And now we're fighting time as well. We have an issue with finding people and names to verify a lot of that information.
Mhm.
So that whole lieutenant story that Bonnie gave, or Betty gave, like, it's really hard to put any of that
Verify.
into like real life evidence.
Yeah.
We do have endless evidence, or at least stories of UFO abductions in this manner, where nothing's left behind, and a group of people see a craft and then it's gone, or they're gone. Again, aliens, who knows? Maybe it's a possibility. It's on the table. There's something else we need to talk about that's also a possibility that really creeps into that supernatural and otherworldly place, and it's a creature called the Qalupalik. So the Qalupalik. Ooh, Jen maybe knows what it is.
Ooh.
So it is an Inuit myth or legend, a creature that basically, for what our southern blood compared to these people would compare to as like a mermaid, but they operate in the cold waters. They have human torsos with fish-like lower bodies, green and scaly. They have long fingernails, long black hair, but they sing and they draw
So they're like
got
people
that
sirens.
siren element,
into
yeah.
bodies of water and drown them.
Hey man, you can drown in a bowl of soup.
You
I
could.
mean, yeah,
So I mean, why
Apparently,
not a
these,
2-foot lake?
yeah,
it would
especially with
be,
these songs, it wouldn't matter. Like, they can just trance you to be face down.
yeah, it would be weird for them though to be in this type of
Tiny.
water.
Yeah.
So that is the biggest issue with this thing, because
And
they would need to be able to flow through solid ice.
yeah, I'm picturing this like really sad creature flopping. Oh, there's a rock.
Yep.
You know,
And more times than not, when we're talking about these kind of myths and creatures, like, this is a cautionary tale. This is to warn young children to stay away from frozen lakes and basically scare them into not doing that. But it's giving children context to be aware of their surroundings and,
Right.
not wander into lakes. But
you better watch yourself in the next lake.
yeah, we also hear
FAF Foley.
about other creatures that kind of do the same thing and make people disappear.
Mm.
Yeti.
Yeti, everyone thinks Yeti. I totally was like, this is what I still maybe
But
think. Again,
I don't know.
not
but there-
sloppy enough.
Yeah, that was my
Not-
thing. When you started describing it, I was like, well, Yeti's out. Because I just don't think, and a Yeti's not going to lure you out.
Yeah, I think it would just rip your tents apart and
Yeah.
pull you apart. But there is a cold dwelling cryptid that does like to draw people into places with mimicry and illusions. The Wendigo.
Oh.
Wendigo!
Yeah, so the Wendigo
Ooh.
is obviously
The coolest fucking cryptid ever.
horrifying cryptid.
Oh, what basic? I mean,
Oh,
He's
it's my favorite.
skeletal. He's got like these
Josh.
antlers. Apparently, he like smells like decay.
Josh, I'm worried for you.
Oh, he's my favorite. He's just so metal.
But we have the traditional stories of the Wendigo doing things like calling your friend's name or calling for help, mimicking your friend's voice, sounding like a loved one. And then the people that follow up on those sounds or calls,
one by one,
go missing with no body, no fingerprints, no trace, no nothing. So, are we talking Wendigo level here? Did this whole village get drawn away by a cryptid?
Cryptid Pied Piper?
I don't know. That'd be creepy.
That would be. But then you would still have footprints of them leaving.
See, that doesn't bother me because we don't know how long, how much snow
Yeah.
still
True,
fell,
true,
the
true.
wind, if it's
Yeah, it's
that
more the
windy all the
stuff
time.
Left.
Still there.
And just like the dog, the
Trance-like,
guns,
yeah.
Yeah,
the
like
gloves, the everything.
yeah,
This
that's
is when you need Dr. Doolittle so he can ask those two poor huskies.
Right? Like, oh.
Yeah, what
talk
happened?
about it anymore.
Like, yo, you wouldn't believe it. It was Wendigo and a UFO.
Well, and
Yeah.
that's the other thing. So if it's not even like, somebody went missing too far away because they would have taken the dogs.
Yeah, but
You
it's
know,
a whole
I mean-
village.
Yeah, and
Gone.
So it's-
weapons, and like
if
you would have
something
packed
had
out.
to have been within their very close radius.
But yeah,
of-
and but what makes it's like almost instant because it's not even like, there's always a Steve that's like behind. There's
Oh,
always like a
yeah.
let's go, Steve. Like, come on, like that guy leaves everything. Everyone else was ready. They knew what they were doing. They were getting ready to go. All their shit was packed. Like it's
Everybody
weird
got
that
Steved.
all the huts are mid activity or like fully
Yeah.
stocked.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's super weird.
And even if they were going to try and flee, even, I mean, the dogs are there. That's your transportation. That's it.
Yeah, where are you
your
going?
dogs, your gear, everything.
Also,
you
yeah,
need
how are you surviving if you're
is
not
left
grabbing like
there.
your furs and stuff like that? You're just
Yeah, you're
walking
not.
out into the fucking
you'd
wilderness.
You'd last minutes. That's
You die
that's the
so
issue.
fast.
And then, I mean, we can't. Where are the dead people?
Yeah, why
Mhm.
would you just dig up your
That's
dead people
Very
in the
problematic.
frozen ground?
That's
Like, you would
probably
have
the
to want
most
that.
problematic. Yeah, that.
So you're gonna dig up the dead bodies and take them wherever, but you're gonna leave all the warm clothes and everything behind.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know. It gives me the
Love
chills
that.
thinking about it. But we got one more creature that may be responsible for this if we're staying in the cryptid world. Something called the Kushtaka. And it's another legend from Alaska. This one.
Oh, is this the
more
little
like a
kids?
shapeshifter being
Oh, don't like
that
that.
lives near water and can transform into humans and otters and other creatures. But again,
Aw, you can't pretend to be cute. And, just a little otter.
wait, that's not even it. That's not even the
Deceiving
worst of it.
otter.
It lures people into the water by sounding like a baby crying or a distressed friend. So another one of those things. Like, I don't know
An
why
otter
everything out
would
there
never.
lures you into the wild. No, otter just jumps in your face and attacks you upright. You don't give a fuck.
Lies.
Otters are vicious, bro.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Little river otters aren't.
No, actually, yeah, I
Don't
think the river otters are nice. There are
Yeah,
nice
they,
ones, but
like,
there are mean ones. So I mean,
listen to Lee.
no, all this crypto talk, this cryptid talk is basically to talk about something called cultural memory. And that's what we start talking about when we talk about dragons and giants and sea serpents. There seems to be this like underlying either storytelling that we've done to ourselves for so long that like it's just ingrained in how we see the world now, or there's more truth to these things and there was like reasons why we were telling people at every corner of the globe to watch out for dragons or giants.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because dragons are dragons and giants are giant.
Yeah, but this lines up with that whole thing because we still have no explanation for like why do groups or individuals in these areas with these specific items that are in common all just vanish. Like, what is making people vanish?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if we knew the answers to that, we wouldn't even be doing this episode.
No, but that's when you run into this cultural memory of like, is this something that's been going on for so long that in all these cultures we've kind of just explained it away through myth and story and legend and like
Just not gotten down to the root of it.
Because how do you explain where is the comfort in I don't know to like the next generation to
Well, there isn't.
newcomers to never seen people just dip out of the face of existence. Like, what do you tell someone? I mean, I get it's crazy that the better thing to tell someone is like, oh yeah, there's this vicious skeletal antlered monster that is going to
Ugh.
mimic your loved ones and draw you into the woods, and then you're just going to be gone. Instead
Well,
of
yeah,
like,
because nobody.
I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, because everybody wants an explanation. You don't want to like not have the explanation because that's even more
Yeah.
you
terrifying.
know is better than the monster you don't.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we're left with like some of these really big questions of where did these people go? Why was the initial response so heavy from the RCMP? Why was
well-
there an internal story versus a public story that differed?
It's because they knew what happened.
Did they? I
Maybe.
don't know. There are a lot of questions that surround this entire case that are really just completely unanswered. There's also a lot of misinformation. You can go and you can listen to people talk about a lone survivor, a child that was in another Inuit village that also somehow just gave up no information to what happened to people. There's
So traumatic that
versions.
they're just like, I can't recall.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
versions where there's kayaks seen on the shore, but what would that make sense when there's a frozen lake?
Extreme
Yeah.
hypothermia. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, there is a lot to throw out of this story and debunk right on the surface. But there's still this aching question of what happened to an entire village of people. Because still, the official story to this date is that this is not even a true story. And
It's just a myth.
Joe made it all up. There was never this village there or anything like that. But I can't find any verifying information to that debunking.
Yeah, because like this village is for sure real, right? Yeah.
As far as anyone knows, Anjikuni Lake had a village of 25 to 30 people that were there
As long as
one
we know
day
that.
and gone the next.
We have no idea, like, before this fur trapper, when anyone else last had contact with them.
No. And this is again where it's that history and time just makes these things even harder to verify because
Mhm.
it's now become super easy for most people to say there's no verifiable evidence that there was an Inuit village here, and like we can't say that even this amount of people could survive in this area for that time because now there are so many less examples of that. Like
The reporter pulled up a picture.
Right.
we know that there were people in these areas, and I couldn't imagine a trapper just walking out into the middle of nowhere aimlessly forever and then coming back and saying
Yeah.
there was
Yeah, what's
nothing
the
there,
point?
guys. Like,
Yeah.
Especially if
They're-
you already know that there's like scarcity of animals. So like why would you go up there and trap if there's nothing to trap?
yeah, it's a very weird, unsolvable case, and I think again with this one, it's very underreported on or talked about in this day and age because of that lack of like solid 21st century evidence.
Yeah.
Well,
just-
yeah.
what are you going to do?
Could even solve that today.
No, well, the skeptics win. The skeptics always win on like the missing 411 on all those cases because any rational person actually looking into it has to end up saying, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. And
Like-
nobody wants to be the I don't know guy.
But I don't even mind being that. But the skeptic is going to fall back on all the things they quote unquote know.
Yeah.
And the things that they know are like what I talked about at the top of this episode is we all just know, right? People don't just vanish.
Yeah.
There's always an explanation.
Oh, but they do.
But again and again, we're met with this people just vanishing.
People
So-
just stop vanishing.
Right? I don't know, man.
Or if you vanish, then reappear. So you could be like, yo, this is what happened.
I mean, that's the only other like human explanation would be that somebody else came But they would have to be like multiple people with their own sled teams to haul 25 to 30 people out because you couldn't
Plus
do it
dead
in groups
bodies.
because, huh? Oh,
Plus
yeah.
the dead
And
bodies.
then, even
Mhm.
with that, why would you care to do that? So, and why are you just coming to take people to kill them or move them somewhere against?
Yeah.
Like, why? It doesn't,
No,
but that's
And
what
not
you'd
do
have to
anything
do.
with the area. Yeah.
They would have to be a lot of people to do that because you
That's a
couldn't
lot
do
of
it in
effort back then.
yeah,
Oh,
you couldn't
absolutely.
do it in
And
phases because, like, I'm gonna wait for you to come back and kidnap me too. No,
Yeah,
and
I
no.
mean,
if you were, I'm sure a lot of these villages are semi-nomadic or nomadic, just on weather and availability of resources. Like if this was one of those nomadic communities, like they would have packed up all their essential
oh yeah,
equipment.
Yeah. You
They
left
the
wouldn't
the
leave
dog.
gear,
their
the
dogs.
guns,
You
the
left your
dogs.
transportation. You left. Yeah, there's no way.
But don't forget the bodies. Fuck everything else.
Yeah,
I'm so
and
hung up on the dead bodies. Like, why
and
would you
full
dig
Well,
them
no,
up in the
disclosure on
frozen
that.
earth?
The
I
dogs
want
and the dead bodies are the two biggest things
yeah,
because, like I said,
and the guns, because I couldn't imagine if you ever watched that like
well, yeah, they got to eat. How are
Alaskan
they?
bush people shit.
Yeah.
Like those
There's so
people,
many.
that woman doesn't walk out of her house without a fucking 50
Well,
cal
yeah, because you don't
revolver
have
on
a
her hip because
grizzly's gonna
you can
come
open
out.
your door to a polar bear.
Right? Oh yeah,
Yeah, like I'm good, bro. Like even if you ran into a Wolverine without a gun, have fun.
He's got metal claws
Ching,
and a
ching.
healing factor. God, I'm so glad
well,
that you were in with that. And he's Canadian.
So really, like we're really, really, really just left with where'd
So
they
many
go?
questions.
What took them? Was it aliens? Is this completely fabricated? Like, is it fiction? Is the whole thing made up? A 40-year investigation and, longer, almost a century of people being interested in this case? If that's the case, then why are there two varying reports?
do people still live in this area?
I don't know. No one lives up there now. And that's what I'm saying. Like, again, like those Inuit communities are shrinking as it
Yeah.
is the oral traditions of telling people where these places are. Like they couldn't even tell people like, yeah, there's a lake that's like, a couple miles wide. It's only like 3 feet deep, but it's there. Let me tell you, like children and the next generation are never going to walk up there 500 miles to go see
No.
this empty lake.
No.
No.
Like it's crazy.
But see, this is the kind of thing that if I was like a billionaire, I would like send people to do like a archaeological dig.
Oh yeah, I'd be having
That's like
satellites
Bigelow
over it.
status. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what. Like, unfortunately, people do this stuff. This one, I don't know how much people have done. Probably just because of location. and the difficulty.
Exactly.
But yeah. Hey, man, put in the comments if you're listening. Hit us up on social media. Do you have any other theories we didn't cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us your theory. I'd love to hear it. Just
Yeah. Oh, what I
don't
was
forget
gonna.
the dead bodies.
Yeah.
Perfect. You brought it back. What I was gonna say is, like I said, varying reports on all these stories. Always, I try to take the most verifiable versions of these stories. That fact of the graves did vary from multiple graves to one being disturbed. Still eerie, unexplainable, weird. I don't get it. So
yeah, no.
leave
them where they are.
If people go doing research and they find that, I don't want them coming at me in the comments. This report only says it had one grave. Well, I'm telling you now that I saw them both, and I saw more times than not that there was multiple.
Even if it's one, it's still weird. Just remember that.
Yeah. If you
leave them where they lie.
Exactly. Like you're going to leave a comment below.
Boom.
No, but if you did enjoy this mystery, or like I said, if you have any other theories or suggestions,
give us your best theories.
If you have any other missing villages besides Roanoke, obviously, I'd be interested in hearing that. I did come across a few other kind of weird disappearances while I was doing this, so I'd be interested to see what other people got. What about you guys? Anything else on Anjikuni Lake?
Nah.
I mean, I'd like to think they went to Hawaii, but I don't think they did.
I don't think they went to Hawaii.
I don't either.
Beamed up, son.
I think they would have taken their dogs, even though they've been
Yeah, it's one of those things where You don't want to fall super deep into the conspiracy thing, but like at the same time, like I got no evidence of
Yeah,
any
what's the
problem.
other alternative other
I
than
know.
the conspiracy
I
theories?
know. It's crazy. It's really nuts. I don't know. Hey man, that's why we do what we do.
It's just one of
That's
those
right.
unknown unknowns.
Just
Yep.
making you aware that you can disappear.
Yep. Right. All right, guys. Thank you for listening and hanging out with us for this long. If you enjoyed this and you have any suggestions for other topics, let us know. Subscribe, like us, leave a comment, rate us on podcast
5-star
platforms.
only.
5
Yes.
stars. It actually helps. It helps us get out there in front of other people that enjoy
More
strange and
weirdos.
small
Yep.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
And
there's a
if you
whole
want
bunch-
to be a guest, hit us
Yeah.
up. ssospodcast@gmail.com. We also have merch.
yes,
really
we have
soft.
merch.
Yes.
And it's so comfortable.
They are
Check
soft.
out the links below or go to our link tree on our socials. You'll find all that stuff there. It's done through TeePublic. Pretty top tier quality stuff, like Josh was saying.
It's
I do
it's
really
nice and
enjoy all
cozy.
my
Even have shirts
public
in
stuff.
ladies' cuts, which is nice.
Mhm. Ooh, we got all the apparels. Got
Yeah.
anything, man. Yeah, it's just cool. Cool stuff. Grab a sticker, grab a magnet. Rep the pod, rep the society. All right, guys. Other than that, you know what it does. Stay curious. Stay strange.
Stay warm.
I'm wearing sleeves. You know it's chilly.
Stay seen. Keep
He
your
was all the
location on.
hood for a hot second.
And a hood. Yeah, I got a little chill. I just shaved my head today, so it's like extra.
Ever. Gotta keep it fresh, baldy. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Thank you for listening. If you would like to join us as a guest, suggest a topic, or have a story you want us to share, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at ssospodcast@gmail.com. For more behind-the-scenes updates and exclusive insights about SSOS, make sure to follow us on social media. And don't miss out on the fun. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you for listening to the Secret Society of Strangers podcast. This show is an independent production, researched and crafted by our passionate team. But we couldn't do it without all of you. We truly appreciate your support. Embrace the unknown, for not all secrets are meant to be kept. Farewell, strangers.